Good morning, class 7. So in the last lecture, we have finished with this lesson, Legend of the Narmada. And I have explained you this lesson and we have discussed about the questions also, and I told you to write down your questions yourself. So I have given you today's time, so you can just write down and we will discuss in the next lecture. So we have done this exercise also, language skills. This one, this one. We have finished up till here. Yesterday we finished up till here. And today we are going to start with the writing skills. Rewrite these paragraphs using capital letters wherever necessary. So I think you have not done, we have not done the punctuation in this session. So we'll be doing later on, but first of all we have to complete it here. So you know that in punctuation capital letters plays a very important role. After full stop or any proper noun, if there is in the sentence, so we have to put that word into a capital letter. Now here I have underlined or encircled the words which have to be put in the capital letters. You can just see. All of you look at here and do the corrections in your own books. So all of you finish this, and for today's homework, write down your homework. You have to read this passage properly and you have to complete the following and the table given below. This is your homework and today you have to do this and send the images to me, those who have done. Is it clear to all? This is your today's homework. Is it clear to all of you? So now we'll start with the Unit 4, Section 4. It's a poem, Land of Our Birth. So today we are going to start with this Land of Our Birth. Today is Wednesday. So this poem is, I'm going to tell you the summary of this poem. So this poem is written by Rudyard Kipling. The name of the poet is Rudyard Kipling, and he was born on 30th December 1865 in Bombay and died on January 18, 1936, London. So he's a very famous poet, and Land of Our Birth by Rudyard Kipling is a beautiful poem, patriotic poem. It's a very patriotic poem. So in this first stanza, Land of our birth we pledge to thee, our love and toil in the years to be, when we are grown and take our place as men and women with our race. So in the first stanza, the poet on the behalf of all his countrymen consecrates their love and toil to it to the years to come. So here, on the behalf of all the countrymen, he is consecrating their love and toil. Toil is the hard work. Toil is the hard work which his countrymen has done for the country for the years to come, means जो आने वाली years हैं उनके लिए he consecrates their love and toil. Is it clear? Father in heaven who lovest all, O help thy children when they call, that they may build from age to age an undefiled heritage. So in the second stanza, the poet prays to God in heaven to help his countrymen whenever they need his help so that they can build a pure heritage country. So he is praying to God in the second stanza to help his countrymen, कि उसके countrymen को help करें whenever they need, whenever they call him for his help so that they can build a pure heritage and country. Undefiled means pure, not defiled. ठीक है, pure heritage. Teach us to rule ourselves always, controlled and clean night and day, that we may bring, if we need arise, no maimed or worthless sacrifice. So in the third stanza, the poet prays to God. He prays to God to give him and his countrymen the strength to bear the challenges and responsibilities of the young age. He also prays to him for his grace so that his countrymen may live only a truthful life. Means he is praying to God that he should give him and his countrymen the strength to bear the challenges. वो भगवान से स्ट्रेंथ मांग रहा है कि उन्हें स्ट्रेंथ दें ताकि वो चैलेंजेस को, लाइफ की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ को, यंग एज को ठीक से उठा सकें. ही ऑल्सो प्रेज टू हिम फॉर हिज ग्रेस. भगवान से उनकी ग्रेस के लिए मांगते हैं, प्रे करते हैं दैट हिज कंट्रीमैन में लिव ओनली अ ट्रूथफुल लाइफ. मीन्स वो बहुत ही कंट्रोल्ड और क्लीन लाइफ, ट्रूथफुल लाइफ जिए. Fourth, teach us the strength that cannot seek by deed or thought to hurt the weak, that under thee we may possess man's strength to comfort man's distress. So in this in the fourth stanza, he is saying that he prays to God to teach his countrymen to live a clean and controlled life always, and if there is any need, they may take the greatest of the sacrifices for the sake and glory of their country. Means अगर ज़रूरत पड़े तो वो अपनी कंट्री के लिए अपनी लाइफ को आराम से दे सकें, सेक्रीफाइस कर सकें, सो दैट दे कैन मेक ग्रेटेस्ट सेक्रीफाइसेस फॉर द सेक एंड ग्लोरी ऑफ देयर कंट्री. In the fifth stanza, teaches the strength. He prays the Almighty to teach him to depend on him for the judgment of their deeds. Means जो वो काम कर रहे हैं, जैसे वो डीड्स कर रहे हैं, उन पे वो डिपेंड रहे हैं. मीन्स मैंने अच्छा काम किया है तो मुझे अच्छा ही फ्रूट मिलेगा इस चीज़ का. डिपेंड ऑन हिम ओनली फॉर द जजमेंट ऑफ देयर डीड्स. मीन्स भगवान पे सिर्फ वो फ्रूट के लिए डिपेंड करें, ओनली फॉर द जजमेंट, कि उनके डीड्स कैसे थे, उनके काम कैसे थे, ये जजमेंट गॉड ही करता है. एंड नॉट ऑन द फ्रेंड्स. ये आपने फ्रेंड से नहीं पूछना है कि मैंने कैसे काम किए. ये आप भगवान देखता है कि हाउ व्हाट टाइप ऑफ डीड्स यू हैव डन, एंड ही विल गिव यू द फ्रूट अकॉर्डिंगली. सो ही ऑल्सो प्रेज टू गॉड टू बी ऑलवेज विद दैम. हमेशा उनके साथ रहने के लिए कहता है भगवान, सो दैट दे कैन लिव फियरलेसली, बिना किसी डर के वो जी सकें, विदाउट केयरिंग फॉर फेवर फ्रॉम द कॉवर्ड्स. सो ही सेइंग कि हमें इतनी स्ट्रेंथ देना दैट कैनॉट सीक बाय डीड और थॉट टू हर्ट द वीक, कि ना तो हम किसी वीक को हर्ट करें या कोई जो नीड में है उसको तंग करें. दैट अंडर दी वी में पोजेस मैन स्ट्रेंथ टू कम्फर्ट मैन्स डिस्ट्रेस. मीन्स हम दूसरों के दुख दर्द दूर करने में उनकी हेल्प करें. हमें आप अपनी ऐसी ग्रेस देना. इज इट क्लियर? टीच अस डिलाइट इन सिंपल थिंग्स. So in this he also prays to God that they should never hurt the weak and needy people, and they can comfort those who are in the distress. Means those who are in distress होता है बच्चे, दुख में हैं जो, हम उनकी हेल्प कर सकें, वीक को कभी हर्ट ना करें. यही वो उनसे ऑलमाइटी से बोलता है कि हमें ऐसा प्रे करता है गॉड से कि हमें ऐसे बनाना. टीच अस डिलाइट इन सिंपल थिंग्स. ही प्रेज टू गॉड टू टीच हिज कंट्रीमैन टू टेक डिलाइट इन द सिंपल थिंग्स, कि उसी में खुश रहें, छोटी छोटी बातें जो सिंपल थिंग्स हैं उन्हीं में खुश रहें. सो दैट दे कैन फील हैप्पीनेस ऑलवेज, जिससे कि उन्हें हमेशा खुशी महसूस हो. फील फॉरगिवनेस फ्री ऑफ इविल डन. ही प्रेज टू गॉड दैट दे फिल देयर हार्ट्स विद फॉरगिवनेस एंड लव फॉर ऑल द मैनकाइंड. एंड इज प्रेइंग फॉर गॉड दैट कि उनके मन में सबके लिए फॉरगिवनेस हो और लव हो. फॉरगिवनेस मीन्स सबको माफ़ करने की शक्ति हो. लैंड ऑफ आवर बर्थ, आवर फेथ, आवर प्राइड, फॉर दोज फॉर हुज डियर सेक आवर फादर्स डाइड, ओ मदरलैंड वी प्लेज टू दी, हेड हार्ट हैंड थ्रू द ईयर्स टू बी. So in the last stanza, poet on the behalf of his countrymen again pledge लेते हैं to his great motherland that they will serve it with all their head, heart and hand in the years to come. Means they are fully faithful towards their country, and if their country needs them, so they are always there to keep alive the glory and pride of their country. So they are means fully devoted, fully dedicated to their country. They are at their service, at the service of their country. So that's a very simple poem. It has a very patriotic feeling, like कि हम अपनी कंट्री के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं. तो इसमें वो ऑल माइटी से सिर्फ यही मांग रहा है हमेशा कि उन्हें ऐसे बनाएं कि वो सबसे प्यार करें, और ही इज़ ऑलवेज प्रेइंग टू गॉड दैट हेल्प करें वो अपनी कंट्रीमैन की जब भी उनको ज़रूरत हो, वेन एवर दे नीड his help, so that they can build a pure heritage country. Then he prays to God to give his countrymen the strength to bear the challenges को bear करने की strength दें. And he also prays him for his grace, so that their countrymen can live a very truthful life, कि उनकी जो लाइफ हो बड़ी ट्रूथफुल हो और बड़ी कंट्रोल्ड और क्लीन लाइफ वो जिए. और whenever they need, their country needs, they can sacrifice for the sake and glory of their country. And then he prays to God to teach them to depend on himself only for the judgment of their deeds. Means they should know that what type of deeds they have done, and accordingly they will be given the fruit, and not on the friends. He prays to God to be always with them, so that they can live fearlessly without caring for the favor from the crowds. And the whole poem, he is just praying to God to make them eligible, so that they can love their countrymen, they can help them if they need. They should not hurt anyone, or they should feel delight in the simple things and feel happiness anyway, always, and fill their hearts with forgiveness and love. So on the behalf of his countrymen, in the last, he pledges to his great motherland that they will serve it with their head, heart and hand through the years to come. So he is fully dedicated to his country in this poem. So what do the children pledge to their motherland? Children क्या pledge कर रहे हैं motherland से? Yes, here we will find out the answer. We pledge to thee our love and toil in the years to be. So this is our first answer. Try to write it in your own words. What type of heritage do the children want to build? So they want to build the undefiled heritage. They want to build from age to age the undefiled heritage. Write down in your own words. How would the children behave if the country needs their services? How would they behave? They should, means if their country need them, they can just, if their need arises, no maimed or worthless sacrifice. Means they are always ready to sacrifice themselves for the sake of their worth and glory of their country. What type of forgiveness do the children seek? What type of forgiveness they seek? Forgiveness free of evil done. Means they don't want, they pray to God to teach them that their heart should be filled with forgiveness and love for all, and they should not feel evil for others, not think bad for others. So this is the fourth answer. Which stanza shows the children's complete dedication to their motherland? So this stanza number 5 in this stanza it is very much clear that the children are completely dedicated to their country. So in this it is very much clear. So I have located the answers in the poem. Try to write it yourself. Okay.